and gentlemen, boys and girls, these two weren't expected to go live just now, but guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. We are late. We are here. Franchise, Justified, hosted by your actual host with the most, not the one who tells you he's the most, the one who actually proves it to you. Hey, yo, Steph, and I'm joined to my left, because this is my left, right? To the right, to the left, to the left. All right, Beyonce said it right. My boy, the real son, Reese. I like to call him Reese. And over here, no, ladies and gentlemen, that is not the former WWE World Champion. That is not Sami Zayn. That is Jordan. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a beautiful show for y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, let me stop saying ladies and gentlemen. Boys, let's jump straight into this because, as I said before, we are late. ZILLA FATU has arrived. He debuted in NXT, wiping out everybody in his path. There's been a lot of speculation about ZILLA FATU for months. Like people were questioning, is he on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, is he Bloodline, blah, blah, blah. He's finally here. What do you guys think? What's to come? I'm just very curious to get into your headspaces. Let's kick it. Oh, Reese is doing a serious face. Let's kick it off with my brother Reese.
Absolutely. ZILLA FATU has arrived in WWE with his NXT debut. I want to say a take, and I'm going to justify it. That if ZILLA FATU is everything that we think he is, ZILLA FATU will save the bloodline. ZILLA FATU will save the bloodline. Absolutely rescue it. Look, let's talk about it. The bloodline right now is not the best. It's not the best. We've seen them put on better stories, and quite frankly, there are people arguing that the bloodline is pushing down the roster. Are they doing something semi-interesting with the stuff with Solo Sikoa and the stuff with LA Knight? Yeah, no pun intended. However, it can only go so far. I think it has limitations. If you really want to freshen up the bloodline, this is what you do. You have Solo Sikoa, who has just been forced into a bloodline, having a ZILLA FATU sneak in, and a Jacob questioning a tribal chief Roman Reigns if he looks any bit weaker than he does right now. I understand he beat CM Punk earlier this year. I understand he just beat Seth Rollins, but if Roman Reigns can somehow look weak in a match or look beatable in a match, and Jacob Fatu smells that blood in the air, and a ZILLA FATU is creeping near, and a Solo Sikoa is there, you could see them slowly plant the seeds of a bloodline shift. I'm not saying it's going to happen yet, but I'm saying Roman Reigns, I don't know how long he has left, but if there is any sense of a bloodline shift and somebody to kind of revitalize what the bloodline used to be, my goodness, it's ZILLA FATU. Whether it's the work that he's done in the Indies, whether it's the work that I know that he's capable of doing in WWE, I think ZILLA FATU will completely revive the bloodline.
All right. I like it. Bold take, ladies and gentlemen. I know you see me on my phone. Don't think I'm uninterested. I'm currently sharing all around the franchise link. Make sure you tell your mama, tell your granny, tell everybody, tell the dogs. Now, let's get over here. Jordan. Reese just said some bold takes. He said it's going to save the bloodline. ZILLA FATU, I do believe you're a little bit more educated on his indie work as well. What do you expect from ZILLA? How good is ZILLA? Please inform me. I don't watch indies. I'm a WWE head, proud and stand. I'm TKO. So, what can we expect from ZILLA? Is it really, does he have the capabilities of saving a bloodline? One of the greatest WWE storylines of all time. Does he have the capability of saving that?
Okay, Reese, you've kind of lost your mind. I'm not gonna lie. Like, let's be honest. Let's not put this kind of pressure on ZILLA. Like, we could talk about, oh, he's gonna save the bloodline. He's gonna go into the bloodline. Do like, pump the brakes. Let's be honest. I am happy he is there because I'm so glad he's in NXT. So you're saying let's tell you about ZILLA's okay. He's not bad. He's not like bad by any means, okay? But he's not Jacob Fatu, which is why Jacob Fatu didn't go to NXT. Zilla's not there yet. You talk about save the bloodline, Reese? No. Zilla is the kind of guy that they do not need to rush, especially because right now, NXT, you want to talk about what's he going to save, Reese? Zilla is going to save NXT. He's not here to save the bloodline. Zilla's here to save NXT because NXT is what we all know right now, poverty. We know that nobody is sitting there Tuesday nights in front of their screens ready to watch NXT. They're watching us. They're watching us. They're not watching NXT. They're watching franchise. Because this is the thing. NXT doesn't have the stars right now. They don't have the interest. They need buzz. They need buzz that they used to. I want to watch NXT. I want you to make me watch NXT. I don't have time to watch a lot more wrestling but I want WWE to make me. I want WWE to make NXT so good again that I have to take time out of my life and I have to watch it.
Out of your life?
Out of my life. Sorry about that, but I had to take time out of my life. I have to sit there on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and I have to watch NXT because it's so good and the storylines are so good. So that's my answer, is that this is such a good signing for NXT because we need people that are entertaining on this brand. Even though it's a developmental, it's getting to the point to where it's so unnecessary to watch. But somebody like Zilla with the Samoan name, the Fatu name, has the unique moves, the cool aesthetic about him. He is somebody that can bring that kind of appeal to a brand like NXT. So it's no, I think completely pump the brakes on the bloodline. Keep him far away from the bloodline for right now, because that is where everybody is going to be trying to catapult and push him to, and everybody's going to try to discredit him from this. Where you're gonna create a problem where there isn't one. Let this guy cook in NXT. Let him be NXT champion. Let him build up this brand and make it interesting and entertaining again while you're teaching him to be a good star and go into these footsteps of guys like Solo and Jacob Fatu. Don't just throw him in with the fishes because at that point, people are going to complain that another Samoan's getting thrown in anyway. So let him come in on his own rather than just being thrown in and being ridiculed for being similar. And I land.
Jordan, right. I never said throw him in there yet. That's not what I said. But let's keep it a buck real quick, right? Roman Reigns, Roman ain't performing the best lately. Jacob Fatu's doing nothing. Jimmy and Jey Uso doing repetitive segments. I ain't saying that we throw Zilla Fatu in the fray now, but if you're going to have the bloodline as the main thing on Monday Night Raws, WWE needs saving, not just NXT. The whole dang company needs some saving. I think, of course, you let Zilla do his thing, grind it out in NXT, do what you do. But how much time does the bloodline have until we're like, yo, get him off screen? Because look, when the bloodline isn't there, they don't know what to book on the Monday Night Raw. When the bloodline is there, at least we got kind of something, but it's still mediocre because they don't know what to do with the bloodline anymore. I'm saying this, how long are you going to wait to put Zilla Fatu on main TV? Are you going to wait till the product continues to rot and mold and you got no choice but to bring the NXT stars in? Because according to me, I think that's the only reason why we're seeing an Oba Femi and a Trick Williams and people of that nature, a Javon Evans, come on the screen right now is because they ran out. They ran out of gas. You can tell because now, like you said, the NXT roster is dried up like raisins. There's nobody there. It's a desert. It's an island of irrelevancy. Why? Yeah. Because WWE couldn't afford to keep those stars in NXT. Why? Because the main roster was going to end up becoming an island of irrelevancy. So how long do you have Zilla Fatu continue to elevate people who are severely worse than him? And then when he doesn't do it because it's not his fault, because that's the pressure that you're putting on him, it's not his fault that these people can't deliver. And then you move Zilla up and then he performs well. It blends right in. I'm just saying that Zilla Fatu, I'm not arguing that he's not going to elevate NXT. I'm saying, should he be solely responsible for saving NXT when he could save the biggest storyline that happens week to week? I don't know.
Before you get to respond to that, Jordan, I want to show you guys a comment from the comment section.
Absolutely.
Zilla ain't saving nothing. He's not that good. Just got the family name. That's coming in from Sensei Mo 3648. How do you guys feel? I haven't seen Zilla. I see him do a Samoan drop though.
I will address what Mo is saying. Mo is kind of right, but that's why I think my notion is correct. Mo's kind of right that Zilla's really kind of overblown because he ain't just got the family name. This is Umaga's actual son. This ain't Solo, who acted like Umaga coming on the roster. This ain't Fatu, who, as we see, is another Umaga variant. This is Umaga's actual son. So the thing is he's, of course, is going to have the buzz no matter what. He is solid. I believe he's better than probably Mo does, and definitely better than CJ thinks he is. But I agree. He's not some big game changer. He is in a small pond because he is Fatu. He is the son of Umaga. So you got to think you work with that. You try to catch lightning in a bottle with something like that. So that's why I think he works for NXT, because he still has a lot of polishing that needs to be done. He has a lot of work that needs to be done. He cannot swim on that main roster right now, and he can't swim with those sharks. That is me being respectful of Zilla's ability. And that is me honestly giving them a W for this, for not putting him on the main roster just because he's part of the bloodline. It is this was a very good decision by the Fed to put him in NXT instead, because Zilla is not ready for the main roster.
Okay, there's another comment here that's really spicy. Ladies and gentlemen, before I get to this comment, I just want to let you guys know we're really heating it up with this next topic. The debate is definitely worth it. Stick around. But before we get there, I want to highlight this next comment coming in from LeJJ James. LeBron, if you watching, shout out Philly. WWE took this long to sign him because of legal issues. Can you depend on him being that? It's been a problem for him to avoid this past criminal life. Now, I've heard of some of those criminal things that he's been doing. I didn't know it was like that was the reasoning that he wasn't being signed. I didn't know it was extreme. I did hear he was a little bit hard, like, to manage. Obviously, maybe you two can speak on this, because I know I think all three of us know, everybody even watching knows, WWE is not too kindly when it comes to, people not going along with, your ways outside of the ring. We've seen Matt Riddle. We've seen RVDs. We've seen how people been treated. I'm not saying he's out there Snoop Dogging it off, but I don't know exactly what it is. But how do you guys feel about his past criminal history? Do you think that will play a role in his WWE success?
Go ahead, Reese.
We have seen talent be involved with lawsuits and stuff like that all the time. We just saw somebody retire who was caught up in a way bigger lawsuit than Zilla Fatu has ever been caught up in, let alone crime. I think that's
being at the peak of your career, being towards the end of your career, and just starting are two different things, though.
Jacob Fatu.
Oh, okay. I was assuming you were talking about.
I was talking about him as well, but both, right? So now we have both ends of the spectrum that we're talking about here. We're talking about a company that has not made its, let's just say, it hasn't made its prettiest dollars off of signing the morally right guys. So let's be honest here. We aren't really going to hold WWE to this like moral accountability thing, because they don't do it consistently. So the little stuff that Zilla Fatu has been indicative of, I'm not too informed on it. Maybe it's major, right? Maybe it is super big.
We'll say being a Fatu helps him a lot. Go ahead, though.
That too, but WWE is not gonna hold this thing hostage over his head, because they haven't done it for a majority of other people.
Okay, Jordan, do you have too much to say on it, or are you just
no? I was gonna agree with what he said. Basically, say this: the fact that he is a Samoan and a Fatu, something could happen, but there's also that even bigger likelihood that he could be shielded from real accountability because the fact that he's a Fatu. Like he could just have that, that in because he's right with the right people, where it's like, you're really not going to deal with much because of this, because now you're in WWE and you're a Fatu, so it's going to go away pretty quickly. And
all right.
Yeah.
Plane landed. Ladies and gentlemen, I promised you guys we are heating up. Ladies and gentlemen, you hear this debate everywhere you go, every sport that you go. Yes,
Great
wrestling
balls of fire.
is a sport. Shut your mouth. When
Thank
it comes
you.
to basketball, you have your Michael Jordan versus LeBron. You know what? Yeah, let me properly switch. You have your Michael Jordans versus LeBron. You have your Peyton Mannings versus Tom Brady. You have your Messi versus Ronaldo. Well, in WWE, we have John Cena versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am on record a John Cena fan through and through. I have my jorts on every weekend. I used to free ball and go to school with nothing but jorts because of Cena. But I will be an impartial listener for these two debate. Jordan is representing Stone Cold Steve Austin. Reese is representing John Cena. But ladies and gentlemen, I also want to hear what you think, because maybe you don't think neither one of these are the GOAT. Who do you think is the GOATs? Is the GOAT of the WWE? And also, let me know who do you think gave the better argument tonight for the GOAT case. Boys, you know what? Take it away. Who would like to start this GOAT debate? We're looking at everything: legacy, accolades, all of it. All of it.
When it comes to the question that's being posed, who's the WWE's true GOAT? I think the clear answer is John Cena. I think we passed Stone Cold in 2017. I think that was like the last year, like that debate was just we're cool. Like I think after 17, we kind of made our point after having the year that he had in 17. The match catalog was already built up high enough. We already hit the peaks. Jordan, I want to throw some numbers out there for you. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Do you know that John Cena from 06 to 07 is averaging more pay-per-view buys than peak Stone Cold Steve Austin in 1998?
Probably.
Do you know, according to WrestleNomics, that John Cena on average has more pay? Do you know that John Cena has 5 out of the top 10 highest sold pay-per-views when they were selling pay-per-view, highest sold pay-per-views of all time?
Okay.
But it's not just his draw power. Cena has the better catalog. He's the best that we've ever seen on the mic. It's either him or Punk in WWE. Some would throw The Rock in that case. I think he has a case for that too. But regardless, he's top 3 on the mic all time. He has the best match catalog of all time. He's a top 3 draw in the business's history. Arguably one, but I can see that if you want to say top 3. The longevity that goes with it, 20 years of straight dominance from 06, 07 all the way to 2017. Even I know he's part-time 16 and 17, but the match catalog speaks for himself. The stuff with AJ Styles, the stuff with Dean Ambrose, putting on some of the best matches of that year, debatably putting on match of the year consistently, just dominance all throughout a 10-year span. I understand Austin has the peak. I'm not arguing that. I do think Austin has the highest peak of any WWE superstar of all time. He just does. But that does not, the fact is that the gap for the peak cannot make up for the gap with longevity. It cannot. John's longevity is just too good for us to sit there and just focus on Austin's peak, because the gap between Austin and Cena's peak is just not enough to make up for the longevity that a John Cena has. Absolutely not.
All right. Your response. No, I'm just gonna shut up. I'm gonna let you boys go. Have fun.
Okay, so I look at this from a very what if perspective, which you're not gonna like that, but hear me out. Let me cook for a second. I look at this from a very what if perspective. When you say when you say Cena's better, you're also not factoring in the organicness. So, see, like I said, Cena went through trial and error. Cena had moments where he wasn't very good and he had to get better. And yeah, it's nice to see someone get there, justified, like get that. Now it's nice to see someone climb that mountain and climb that ladder. But the thing is Austin, while they were planning to push him, nobody ever thought, Vince included, that this redneck very relatable, no nonsense, authority challenging character was going to be the biggest organic character in the history of a wrestling crowd, not just WWE.
Good argument.
This is a person that effortlessly, for all the things you respect about the business, took it by storm. This is somebody that, like Cena, as much as I love him, I have him at 2 behind Austin. He was not organic. He was pushed. He did work hard, but he wasn't, though. There was a lot of times where other people were wanted more, and he was pushed. So the thing is Austin was the kind of guy that, yes, I'm not gonna sit here for 1 second and act like before he won King of the Ring that like he wasn't planned to be pushed as a top guy. He was, but he wasn't planned to be Hulk Hogan status. They were just trying to make him the next top guy in the company. He became the biggest star in history. And even you got to think his peak. This is where I go into the what if thing, Steph, and think about it. If you put Cena in Austin, won't even say era. If Cena had 6 years of his peak, and Austin was the one with 20, would this even be a debate? That's where you got to ask, is that as good as Cena was, he wasn't as good as Austin for that long. No, for that whole time. So yeah, he has the longevity argument. But when I think of a GOAT, I think of somebody in basically a what if aspect where they just did it effortlessly. Like, yes, Cena does it so well and he does it for a long period of time. Austin did it so good that if he did it truly as long as other greats, it would have been like he would have gapped everybody so much. Like, could you imagine if Austin had wrestled 15, 17 years like other all-time greats?
Jordan, I'm going to cut you short. Boys,
Wait,
I'm going to let you guys full on debate. I want this unfiltered, unmuted mics.
Wait,
Get into it,
time out. We keep talking about these what ifs. What if Austin sucks after he comes back? That's just before you say, whoa, that's illogical. It's a possibility, because now we throw the realm out into fiction. I'll tell you about a what if that was answered to you, Jordan. What if John Cena got Austin's number 2? Oh, he did. And he ends up having the highest sold WrestleMania of all time. What if John Cena had a consistent number 2 like The Rock for the entirety of his time? He did. And he has the number 2 and number 6 highest sold WrestleMania, highest bought pay-per-view when they were buying pay-per-views for $60. He did, and the number skyrocketed past what Austin could have ever done with The Rock. You don't got to talk about what ifs with John Cena, because he is the what if. What if Austin had 20 years of dominance? He would be John Cena. What if Austin could wrestle longer? He would be John Cena.
You're trying to argue it's that much of a gap.
I'm
That's
not
ridiculous.
arguing that. You don't have to know. You don't have to argue it, Jordan. That's the thing. This is the best part. I don't have to argue it because it's a pure fact.
Okay,
that when John Cena had Austin's number 2, he did double, triple, quadruple the numbers in the name of hustle, loyalty, and respect. Matter of fact, I'll do you one even better. He did it thrice, because when The Miz and John Cena were main eventing and The Rock hosted, guess what? That's the number 3 highest bought pay-per-view of all time. Every single time Cena has had Austin's number 2, he's doubled it in sales. You can argue that Austin was organic. I will give you that. John Cena was too. You act like John Cena was planned to be this top guy since he came in from OVW. No, it was Lesnar. Then it was Batista. Then it was Orton. John was the last guy looked at, because everybody else had the stature of this man. You want to know why John Cena was fake? You want to know why John Cena got to the point where he needed to be, Jordan? You know the answer to this, because Stephanie Shane
The
McMahon
veins is
saw
fire.
him in the back of a bus like he was Rosa Parks rapping with Rey Mysterio. And the fact is that after that, he goes and drops a platinum album. I have no reason to believe that John Cena isn't organic. If you want to say he got stale, that's fine. But then he gets a microphone and has the crowd split 50-50, where even the haters have to say, let's go, because they can't deny greatness. What if Austin had 20 years? Oh, I'm not done with my what ifs, Jordan. What if Austin had 20 years? Then the Benoit stuff happens, and now he has to go into the PG era, and he can't cuss up a storm. He can't flip off of Vince McMahon. He can't drink beers off of beer trucks. He can't do it. What if he can't? What if they ask Stone Cold Steve Austin? No, you can't go and be rated R like they limited John Cena to. What if they told Austin, like John Cena, you gotta go PG? Would he have been as successful? I don't know, but I know who would. I know who has stood the test of time. Whether he got the limitations of a PG superstar, whether he got the ability to break free of the chains of the PG star that he was in 05, 06, 07, whether he was held down by the chains of a reality era and an aging Vince McMahon. I don't need what ifs with Felix Anthony Cena Jr. because he is the what if.
Okay, so you say that, but why? Okay, but why does he not have a single peak like year above Austin's?
Define peak
2000.
Year. Define peak year.
Like, why is he not organically like does Cena lead in any draw metric like at all?
Like all time?
No, yeah, because the answer is no.
He has the highest bought 5 out of 10 highest bought pay-per-views in wrestling in WWE history.
Okay, and Austin at like 58 years old, main evented WrestleMania 38 night 1, which I guarantee is another massive house under his belt. And
John
before
Cena
you go,
hasn't even hit his 50s yet. Again, why are we talking?
Cena's not ever wrestling again. What's the point?
Okay, at 48, he did a bigger house.
I'd have to fact check that, but yeah, probably. But the thing is that okay, 58, 48. What the? I mean.
Okay, well, regardless,
and then you talking about Austin couldn't do this in the PG era, Austin couldn't do that, Austin couldn't do this. Then if that's the case, then why every time he came back to make a appearance or whatever, he just kind of did whatever he wanted and nobody really rejected it or had a problem with it?
Wait, what did he do that pushed the lines of PG? He didn't do a Rock. Like, I could do that with the Rock, but then Rock had to tone it down. No, because
he didn't do anything different from his old self. He was just himself.
Wait, no, he didn't cuss. He didn't come out there and flip everybody off.
He did cuss
every 5 seconds. No. Yes, he dropped a few words here and there. Nowhere near as much as the Attitude Era, and he never had like a full on segment or build up to anything. He comes there, makes a one-off appearance, does the Austin shtick, then leaves. It wasn't like a Rock. You want to know somebody who's held accountable for that? Somebody who was better than Austin on the mic. Somebody who lived off of the Attitude Era's edginess, just like Austin. The Rock, he comes back in 2012 and gets fried by John on the mic. Gets cooked by CM Punk on the mic. Why? Because the PG era is different. No, Rocky, you can't go out there. You can't go out there and say the same stuff that you did back in 1997. You can't go out there and say the same stuff that you did in 1996 because we're in a different era because of circumstances that have happened that are out of our top superstars' control. So what are you going to do to adjust? The Rock did adjust, just not good enough to keep up with Big Match John. But John Cena did his part where he pushed The Rock into the biggest main event at the time in WWE's history.
Okay. And that's where the argument is. A lot of people would argue. I mean, yeah, at the time, I mean, by the metrics it is, but most people would argue that the build-up, and most people would argue at 17. Like, most people would argue at 17.
Okay, but wait. Just because you can argue, I can argue that the sky is red when I wake up.
Oh my God, no, Reese, we can't do an analogy. We can't do it. What are your analogies about?
I can argue that the grass is black. I'm factually wrong. I can argue that John Cena is the greatest of all time. I'm factually right.
You're not factually right because Austin did it more effortlessly.
We're talking about metrics here, and I know
Austin did it more effortlessly. Austin didn't have to do it for 20 years to be a GOAT. Austin had to do it for 6. So he did it for 6. He did it for 6 at a high level.
And
then
he
before
did
that,
it
people
for
forget
6.
he had a
John
career
did it for
before that.
20.
His career
It's
before
too much
that
built
is
up. I'm sorry.
really, really good. But his GOAT years
Austin's
are
really,
so
really good
great.
too. He just
People don't
wasn't
even
there
remember
long
how
enough.
good he was before.
It
before
just
he
wasn't there long
stone
enough.
cold.
Just wasn't there long enough. And I can't go off of
then
what
why are we
ifs.
comparing 20 to 6?
I can't go off
Why are we
of what
comparing
if.
20 years to
Austin's
6?
career is so look. This is what happens when
It's
we
actually
base
22.
something
It's
off of
22.
peak.
It's
It's the
like
same thing that we
17
do with
years
the
of peak
Jordan.
to 22.
It's the same thing that we do with
So
all these other guys who don't have the longevity to back up their stuff. It's what if this guy played 20 years? I don't know. Because it's a different era and you have to adapt. And when Austin's number 2 came and walked in the PG era, he got fried by the top guys and John was outdoing him times 10. Why? Because it's
Austin
a different
didn't get
era.
fried by any top guy ever. What are you
The
talking
Rock's
about?
never been fried by any top guy ever.
I said Austin. He did not
Austin
get
didn't
fried.
get the chance to. Because he retired
Austin
too
probably
early.
wouldn't have.
Wait a minute.
Brock's better on the mic doesn't mean
never
that they would have been the bigger deal, bro.
Austin never got fried by The Rock.
Right now,
Austin
I'm
never
telling
got.
you right
Austin
now
never
that if
got.
Austin walked in that
Austin
ring
never
instead
got
of
in
The
a
Rock,
heated
it's a
battle.
different story,
Austin
bro.
never got in a
I'm
mic
telling
battle
you
with The
right
Rock.
now,
Are
like
you saying
on
that
that
right
night.
now?
No, Reese, listen to me. That night that Punk beats Ryback and then goes out to cut that promo before the Rumble, I promise you, it's a different atmosphere and it's a different story if Austin walks out there instead of The Rock. I'm sorry. It's not even about the pump. It's not about the mic skills. It's about the gravity. Like, yes. What do you mean?
Not winning the promo battle. No, he's not. Austin has never showed you that. Austin has
He doesn't
never
have
showed
to win the promo battle.
No, see, there we go. Because if John walked out there and lost the promo battle, we'd be holding him against him. When The Rock went out there with the superstar of Hollywood on his back,
a lot of people argue against him.
Why does it not get held against Austin? Why does
some people argue Rock beat
all these excuses? Why does he get all these excuses because he wrestled for 6 years good? Why?
Because it wasn't because he had to retire due to injuries and he.
Okay, so why should I believe that? Why should I believe that if you pop him 20 years later, where the environment is completely different and the circumstances are completely different, and you have to go out there and perform with limitations to your character? Why should I believe? Wait, if we're gonna do the what if, do the what if all the way. What if Austin was born in 1977 like John Cena was, or 1975? What if he got put in the WWE in 2002 with the OVW crowd? If you're gonna do the what if, do it all the way. But you won't, because it's fictional. It's a figment of our imagination. It's like Barney.
What if Cena had what most people consider the best match in WWE history?
Imagination.
What if Cena's peak was built? What if Cena's peak and Cena's uprising? No, it's not what if. No, I'm saying, what if it was built by what is the general consensus best match in WWE history? What most people would consider the best match in WWE history when Austin gets organically over to the double turn of WrestleMania 13.
What about the full catalog? What about Cena Umaga, Cena Shawn Michaels, John Cena, every single John Cena CM Punk match, John Cena AJ Styles?
Well, because you're trying to throw a bunch of things at me
that
you know I can't contest because Cena has a 20-year career. So I'm trying to throw the things at you that I know you can't contest. You can't contest that Austin sells more merch. You can't contest Austin's a bigger draw. You can't contest that Austin's a bigger deal.
Why can't I contest Austin's a bigger draw? Why can't I contest that? Why can't I contest John Austin's a bigger draw? Why can't I contest that? Why?
Austin is a bigger draw. That's a fact.
How?
Austin has a bigger draw. He drew bigger houses consistently.
He didn't do a bigger house. I just told you.
Yes, he did. He drew better viewership, and he leads in a draw metric, which Cena leads in none. He is the all-time leader in merch sales.
17 had less than 30,000 in attendance. How did he draw bigger houses? How?
Because if you literally look at I don't have the numbers on me right now, but if you
I got the numbers. I got them for you. I have them for you. I have the buy rates. I have the numbers.
If you look at what the WWE made year by year, when both of them were top guys at the top of the mountain, the WWE made more with Austin.
Wait, John Cena. Okay. But when John Cena had Austin's number 2, they were on par. They were making the same amount, if not more.
They did those years. Those years, they're not making what they are in 01 and 99 and 98.
Who is winning this argument right now? Comments.
How do we know that?
Austin and Rock were out. Like Austin was when he was top guy. WWE was making more yearly than they were with Cena.
297 profit. Oh, you said 01, right?
Any year of Austin's peak. I promise you, they're out.
All right, so WWE in 2012, a full year's revenue of WWE was 484 million income. In 2001, according to WrestleNomics, it's 438. It's a gap.
So then it's
Cena's
barely.
better. Every
still,
time,
still
John, when John,
It's
you
still
don't. See,
more.
my thing is
If
this,
you looked at
Jordan,
all of the now
Yes.
compare their peaks collectively as a whole, and you'll see how much more Austin made money for the company.
why do I have to do that when? Why
Then
do I have to
Cena.
do that when John gets Austin's number
Because you're
two,
talking
he
about
does it.
how you're saying
When
he
John
doesn't.
gets
Why can't you argue
when
he's a bigger
John
draw?
gets-
Because
when
Cena
John
leads in
gets
zero
Austin's
metrics.
number two in an era with less big stars. In 2012, there are not as many.
So you're
there's not a
arguing
Chris
because
Jericho,
Austin,
there's
you're
not a
arguing
Rock,
because
there's
Cena
a
drew more
Mick Foley
versus Rock that
Undertaker,
he's better.
You have a prime Austin, a prime Rock, a prime Triple H, a prime Mick Foley, a prime Undertaker. Like
So
you have
you're
all
arguing
these guys
because you're arguing
you don't have this stuff with John. Every time John has got that number two Austin has, he does better. You don't
Okay,
have
so you're
to do these
arguing
what
that
if.
because
Austin, like this whole Austin argument is a what if Austin had this many years.
No, it's not.
I don't have
Because
to do
you-
yes, it is. That's been the whole thing. And it's what
You're
what
right
if
because he
Austin
doesn't
had
have
this
to
many years?
wrestle
What if
20
John Cena
years
had
to get in the
six?
GOAT
John
debate.
Cena didn't have 6. I hate to break it to you. He had 20 of the,
You're right, he
the
doesn't
20
have to wrestle
greatest
20
years of
years to be
wrestling
the
you have
GOAT.
ever seen consecutively.
I don't understand how you don't understand how that makes no sense. You're arguing
How?
that the fact that he doesn't have to wrestle 20 years to be the GOAT. The fact
No,
that he's 20 years and it's this close
not
of a debate,
that.
doesn't that make
I agree. He didn't have to wrestle 20 years to be the
Meaning,
GOAT.
dude, he
until John.
wrestled 6.
No,
He
I
wrestled
agree with
6
you.
at a high
He
level at
did
a
not
peak.
have to wrestle 20 years to be the GOAT until 2002 when Vince McMahon decided to hire John Cena. Then that's when it all changed. As soon as John Cena got hired and he had his career, Austin has to go time travel, call Capsule Corp.
Austin did everything Cena did in the same
you want to see him.
14
He has to go back 20 years later and keep on wrestling if he wants to compete with John Cena. That's the only way.
The only thing you can
That's
say
the
is
only way.
amounts of
That's
things.
the only
You
way.
can't say anything else.
What do you mean? I've been saying
Amount of titles and amount of things that are going to be a culmination over a 20-year career. But you're not realizing that if you went by on-pace standard, Austin would probably
until
destroy
John
him in
Cena
everything.
was in the bit until John
If you went
Cena
on
got
on-pace
hired.
standard, then Austin has 9 Rumble wins by the time he wrestles as much as Cena.
How do you know that? How do you know he's being booked for that much?
He won 3 in one peak.
Okay, how do you know he's getting booked that much? How do you know?
Because that's the whole point of
because
on pace.
If you predict.
So question: If Cena, though, you're telling me if Cena could somehow wrestle 40 more years, we shouldn't assume he's going to win 17 more titles?
I don't know.
No, 20 more years. Like I'm saying, if Cena could somehow wrestle a 40-year career, if we're going by on pace, why should we assume he can't do in the next 20 years what he just did in 20 years?
I don't need to jump through these loops for John. I don't need to add 20 years to his already phenomenal career. I don't have to do it.
You're right, and I don't need to add any to Austin's 6 to reach your 20.
You don't need to add any. He's number 2.
That's what you're not understanding. You're not understanding that he did what he did in less than half the time.
Number 2 comfort. He has a pillow, a bib. It says 316 on it. A little baby beer bottle of
no, dude. He did what he did in less than half the time, bro. He did what he did in less than half the time.
At the number 2 spot, and it's good.
All right, look, boys, y'all have been going. I'm hearing a lot of stuff. I really wish I could really unleash and say what I would like to say on this argument. Clearly, I do think I'm biased. So I'm gonna keep my thoughts to myself. But here's what I do want, because both of you boys clearly got a lot more to say. Ladies and gentlemen, just like Michael Jordan versus LeBron, this conversation will never be done. So look, Jordan, I heard you say you have your numbers, you just don't have some of them right now. Get your facts together. Next time, come correct. Reese, I want you to counter him a little bit next time, a little bit better. I want to hear some better stuff from you. You guys were going at it. Whoa, sir. I'm not saying you weren't countering him, but there were some things that he said that I think you could have 1-2'd a little bit better, because Jordan, I actually think you made a great argument, but I also think there were a lot of holes in your argument. And I think both of you guys could really bring it the next time we have this debate. But maybe comments. Do we open this up to more people? Are there people who should be the GOAT over Cena over Austin? Is there a Hulk Hogan? Is there a Roman Reigns? Is there
There's not a Hulk Hogan. That's
Ric
for
Flair?
damn sure.
Let's bring
There's
this
not a Hulk
conversation back up another day. Boys, I think you guys killed it. Wait. I don't know why I'm suddenly if I could give my 2 cents real quick on this argument, I don't know if Stone Cold has 6 good years. I think it's more like 5. I think he comes back at the end of his 6th year and he does something really good, sure. But Stone Cold in 03, the start of 03 until the Rock feud, wasn't doing anything that you remember. Stone Cold at WrestleMania 18, who did he face? Scott Hall. He did the main event. I think we're skipping over a lot of stuff when it comes to Stone Cold's years. 2002, he was not that great in 2002. He was cool. He I seen the comment earlier. I was looking at the comments. You two are really in the argument. The comments asked, and they said Stone Cold never got stale. What did Stone Cold do in 2002? Stone Cold got stale. Stone Cold walked out because he didn't like where he was going. Stone Cold got the heel turn. He hated it. Like, Stone Cold got stale. People weren't messing with Stone Cold the same way they were with him in the 90s, in the early 2000, 2001, 2000. I wanted to directly respond to that. Stone Cold also got stale. Cena got stale to one group of people the same way Stone Cold got stale to a group of people. I think it happened with both sides. I'm going to save some of my arguments, but I just wanted to comment. I really didn't want to comment here. I wanted to get on the comments because they're not about to do my boy John like that. John was not organic. Reese said it perfectly. John came from the back of the bus like Rosa Parks, and my man's made his career out of nothing. John wasn't supposed to be the person the same way Stone Cold wasn't meant to be the person. They both happened organically. Can you say John was probably pushed more once they figured out that he could be something? Yes, 100%. But are we going to fault John for that? Or are we going to just fault the system? Like, I don't think that's John's fault because of that. Because he was seen as more trusted to push. Because of the same way that we can sit here and say they pushed John through our throats. I also think that's because of social media and things like that, because they were doing stuff very similar with Stone Cold. You think if Stone Cold came up in the social media era, they wouldn't have been pushing him down our throats when he was going crazy? Like, bro, they would have been doing it with Stone Cold. When they opened up the bar, the first person's face on that bar was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold was being pushed down just as much as everyone else. They're the biggest stars. That's what you're supposed to do. They did it with Roman. They did it with everything. Now, the difference and why I would say push down and this is not being organic, you could complain about somebody like a Roman Reigns. But I just want to add that 2 cents in. The hat's coming back off. Ladies and gentlemen.
Last thing before we...
Yeah, last closing statements.
John Cena has done severely more with less. Like, absolutely more with less. In terms of, like, everything that you're going to give Stone Cold for the draw power, Austin's never been given a Khali and said, go out there and do something with him. Austin's never been given a Damian Sandow and said, go do something with him. Austin's never been given a Miz and said, go do something with him.
Austin just did
severely more with less.
Austin did just as much with way less years, so that doesn't make any I get
no,
your point. It makes a lot
talent.
of sense. Your point, the way you said it, makes sense. But as far as my counteract to that is the fact that did more with less. But it's like Austin also did just as much with less in
time.
Other contexts.
Okay. You're saying less time. I'm saying John Cena
way less time. Way less time and like
John Cena did
just
not
as impactful.
John Cena did not.
Jordan, he's saying the talent that he had.
Yeah, the talent.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but that's not Austin's fault.
Stardom wise. Yeah,
but that's not Austin's fault. Like
you
sure,
two,
but it's also not John's fault.
Hey, boys, we got a show to keep up. You two have been going off. We're gonna cool y'all down just a little bit. We're gonna cool y'all down because it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for Jordan.
Let's go.
Center stage. Jordan, AEW. We want to hear about Dynamite. I also hear about this show coming up that they like to call All In. What is happening in the world of AEW, All Elite Wrestling? I'm going to put you in the middle. Go ahead, take it away.
Absolutely. I'm gonna keep it quick and short before we get to the main part. Honestly, it's looking really good. Like AEW's on fire right now. Just gonna be honest. We get on here a lot through weekly, and we be criticizing a lot of WWE. We be criticizing Triple H. Does Triple H deserve this? Does Triple H deserve that? This show was bad. This show was good. We do doing a lot of that. But what people do need to be factual about right now is AEW in August 2026 is putting on the better product on screen. Consistently. It's exciting.
Wow.
Everything is anticipating going into AEW All In, the biggest show of the year. So I'm very, very excited about that. The Ospreay and the Kenny dynamic is so good because instead of being like everybody wanted MJF Ospreay in a lot of ways, but think about it, Steph. There is a lot of a dynamic of heel face, and everybody wanted the biggest heel in the company versus the biggest face that's finally going to get his moment in his hometown. But it just feels a little bit too WrestleMania. It feels a little bit too WWE. And I'm happy that AEW is leaning into their identity to be for Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega instead of trying to be the WWE going into their biggest event of the show. Like people think, oh, it's the biggest event of the year. It needs to be the most like WrestleMania. It needs to be the most reminiscent of WWE if they want it to be successful. No, it needs to lean fully into what they are. And respectfully to MJF, he is phenomenal in the ring, but he's just not stylistically what this company was built on, which is why Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega is so important, because it's 10-year rivalry of the same wrestling style, of the wrestling style that gets ridiculed so heavily that this company is trying to not be ashamed of. So lean into it. It's their identity. Going forward, Takeshita, Okada, Fletcher has been announced as the triple threat. Finally, we are going to get these two. This has been a story building for over a year for people that don't think AEW does any storytelling. This is the three of the Don Callis family. We have not gotten this triple threat yet. We've gotten variations
Jordan,
of them versus each other.
Step a little bit towards the light. The glare is just kind of killing you.
Sorry.
Right there is beautiful.
Trying to get my head in the middle of it.
Yeah. I bring.
So
bring
what
back
I'm
the
saying
mouth.
is that, Fletcher, Takeshita, Okada, match of the year, triple threat wise, incoming possibly, depending on how much time they give it, how much they let it cook. And AEW is normally lets things like this cook. So that I believe will be amazing. Will be very, very like this show is just being built so well. There's a couple top stars that because AEW is full, just like WWE is at times, they're not exactly in the prominent roles that a lot of people would want them. Guys like Swerve, guys like Hangman. However, everybody like AEW, like it'll get back around to them. This All In is being built perfectly for what it is. Other people will get their chances, but this show I think is shaping up exactly what it needs to be. Which brings me to the final thing I want to discuss. Going in, like that brings you guys into it a little bit. We have Swerve Strickland coming out and inserting himself into the trios division with Hangman and Brodito, who have recently run the titles and have this beef with Ricochet and The Demand. We'll get Gates of Agony. That leaves 3-3, and Swerve not exactly having any reason to really insert himself into this situation. And
keep talking. We hear you.
Got you.
We hear you.
Yeah, gotcha. I'm not having any reason to really insert himself into this situation, except for the fact that there's two free agents that go way back with Swerve Strickland, and they might be on the way to being his surprise partners at AEW All In this 3v3v3. What do you like? I gotta ask you, like, what would you think of New Day debuting AEW All In London with Swerve Strickland?
Honestly speaking, I'm very, very excited for New Day to get a job again. I'll say that. I'm excited to see them on my TV. I've seen that they are joining Jericho's cruise. New Day, here's my honest opinion. New Day were meant to be WWE for lifers. They 110% they were meant to be. Kofi Kingston was 110% meant to be. I just feel that in my heart, in my soul. I think New Day still has so much to offer, but at the same time, New Day still has so much to offer the world. But New Day are just kind of, there's certain people who I feel, and this is going to be so weird to say, because obviously we have your Hardys, we have people like that who's changed that feeling. But there's people who I feel are just kind of too big to leave WWE and go elsewhere. It feels weird. It's gonna feel very weird for the New Day to be in somewhere like AEW. I need the New Day back home. I need WWE to fix what they. I don't even know they'll say the word. I don't. I need them to fix it. New Day in any company other than WWE just feels wrong. It feels awful. Are they gonna go over at AEW and have some good matches? I mean, that's what AEW is meant for. But New Day is not just good matches. It's like you just said about MJF. Whatever the hell you said about it, I was listening. But like you said, I'm a WWE brain. My mom was like John Cena, cuckoos, rainbows, and butterflies. But what I feel with New Day and AEW, are they gonna? This is my question to you. Are they gonna be able to still have that sports entertainment feel? Because I feel like that's what made New Day so good. I think by tag team's definition, they might be the best sports entertainment tag team ever. So now I ask to you, does New Day even belong in AEW?
I actually like the way you said that. I don't know if they belong there, but like you said when you were talking about how I need them back home because I need WWE, this isn't their fault.
It's not.
This is WWE's. So that's my honest opinion. That's my answer to you is that I don't know if they belong here, but they deserve to be here because WWE didn't keep them and WWE made this difficult and WWE didn't let them be WWE lifers. WWE botched their heel turn that literally changed their stock and changed their image going forward to their fans. Like WWE did a lot of this. So the reality is that I am happy to see them get a chance to break the reins. Like when let Khan tell them to go for broke a little bit. Kofi and Xavier are still in amazing shape. So the thing is that they need a place where they don't exactly have training wheels. And I think I speak for everybody when I say the fact that Tony Khan has been able to accomplish this, and the fact that WWE has lured both of these men away, like you say, WWE lifers. The fact that we are probably going to at some point get a face-to-face backstage, even if it's just them smirking between Kofi Kingston and Shelton Benjamin, that have now ended up in an AEW backstage because of WWE's mismanagement of who they should correctly have as their WWE lifers, It is pretty insane to me that is going to be a huge depictment moment for everybody that's followed them their entire career. Everybody that's been a Shelton Benjamin fan, everybody's been a Kofi Kingston fan, and has wanted them to stay, is going to be like, well, damn, what a moment. What an image that is. Kofi and Shelton staring at each other in their Kofi 44 and Shelton 50 in an AEW backstage. Like,
I feel you. I do.
Because WWE let it happen. You get what I mean? And so that's why you can't
it's the unfortunate.
Even like you got to get. Yeah, it's like
I can't blame them for going. I'm not blaming them.
Yeah, that's what I'm meaning. It's like you think Shelton and Kofi didn't want to stay. You know what I mean? You think Shelton and Kofi didn't want to be there right now, being used properly and just being there. Of course they did. But it's like the WWE just doesn't care anymore about things like that. They're willing to let Kofi and Xavier walk. So, hey, they're willing. You know what's even worse? And you know this. This is where I will land it. They're the tag team championship scene that we know they're the New Day. So of course they're going to win the titles at some point. WWE's willing to let a 13-time tag team champion, Kofi Kingston, go win the AEW World Tag Team Championship. And they claim they care so much about depleting this competition. It's like, that was dumb. I bet you agree, Steph. It's like, that was dumb right there because you're going to let 12-time World Tag Team Champions, and now they get to brag about it, go win the AEW World Tag Team titles and add to their resume and put prestige on those belts. Dudes that have been at WrestleMania, dudes that have done everything there is to do in this world, in the wrestling industry, as tag team title holders. And they are going to go and help AEW's tag team title scene. You said it yourself, the greatest sports entertainment tag team ever, which means that even if it is about wrestling, they are creative.
Exactly.
So they're going to get over. There we go.
Jordan, before we get off of this AEW topic, I just want to ask, is there anything else that you wanted to highlight quickly?
Yeah, one more thing. I would just like to say, shout out to Jack Perry. Been through a lot of the last couple of years. great match last night with Jon Moxley, a top guy. Obviously, wasn't ever going to win. Wasn't necessarily a star-making performance, but it was a devoting performance. Blood all down his face, facing a top guy, getting his ass beat, but really just keep coming, not stopping. Pause. But to just keep getting up, to keep fighting is what I meant to say. To keep getting up, to keep fighting, to get to the point to where you're trying to build a believability of Jack Perry breaking through to a believable scene for us. I thought it was a very good. Good progress towards that. I thought it was a good start. If that is like what we're going to, he is a pillar of the company, and maybe that's going to be difficult to build into. But he's still young. You got to start. If you got to think they just re-signed him. Steph, you got to start really, really making this guy something that matters, or you're wasting an investment. Like that Jack Perry had a great match with Jon Moxley last night. So that's the last.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Jordan for the AEW Dynamite recap, hitting us up with some storylines going into All In. Reese, you can return from backstage. We are back to the WWE. And ladies and gentlemen, we enter our main event of the evening. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that Kofi Kingston talk was getting me excited for this main event. Because now, this is why it would have been such a good time to have Kofi Kingston in the WWE. Black talent is taking over the WWE. When you look at the future, the first 4 names that you might say are black talent. That is absolutely amazing. Probably the first time ever in WWE that this much black talent has been the head and the height at this height in the company. Now, as to you two, Reese, I really want to hear you first because obviously, Jordan, no offense to you, but I feel like it just means a little bit more. Reese, how do you feel?
He needs to start us off.
How do you feel seeing this black talent takeover within the WWE?
To answer the questions that we see, has WWE changed? Absolutely not. Here's why. Triple H and company going out here and doing what they should have been doing years ago doesn't satisfy me. Am I happy seeing black talent get the opportunities I think they deserve? Absolutely. Do I still think some people, probably because of skin color, but because of other things like age and whatnot, aren't getting opportunities that I believe that they deserve? Absolutely. However, I'll give credit where credit is due. Right now, we are seeing the pinnacle so far in WWE history of black talent being pushed to the top of the card. Your stars like Obafemi, your stars like Jade Cargill. We saw Bianca Belair and the stuff that she did. Naomi, for goodness sakes, last year went on an amazing title run until it got halted by Big Jim dropping the Slim Jim. Look, absolutely amazing seeing this talent progress. However, this isn't enough for me to change my full perspective on how WWE has booked their black talent. Why? Because you've wasted it before in the past, and I've seen you waste it now. I've seen Carmelo Hayes go down on the card for a Jey Uso. I've seen Carmelo Hayes get pushed down on the card for a Baron Corbin. And if you're gonna do something with it, fine. That's cool. But to me, this doesn't just undo the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of bad decisions for black superstars. This does give me hope. And that's one thing Triple H, that H in his name does not stand for. But I do have hope. Not because of Triple H, but because of Obafemi. And because of Jade Cargill. And because of a Bianca Belair. And because of a Naomi. I am not saying that these the WWE as a whole has not improved. But my goodness, this is the bare minimum. This is the bare minimum for you to push talent that deserves it and not look at the color of their skin. I think that this is absolutely bare minimum what we should have been doing. And this has nothing. Their talent has nothing to do with skin color. We have seen bad black wrestlers.
Yes, definitely, 100%.
So those bad black wrestlers deserve the same opportunities that a bad white wrestler would have, or a bad Samoan wrestler, a bad
there's
Japanese
no bad Samoan
wrestler.
wrestler.
Yeah, I know they don't care about that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
but when it comes to that as a whole, Steph, I do firmly believe that I like what I'm seeing, but it's not enough for me to like change my entire perspective.
I get you. I would absolutely, positively love to add my 2 cents in here with the Black Talent Takeover. I'm very happy where we currently are with the Day We. I understand you 100%. I don't think it erases what's happened in the past, not at all. But I am very happy with the Black Talent Takeover. I think right now I just have to smile. Like, I get where you're coming from, 110%, Reese. But I feel like at the same time, as black people, sometimes we also just have to learn to smile. And when stuff is getting improved, we do have to be able to take it and see that improvement, take it and run with it. Black people right now in general across everything have been doing their thing lately. And now it has finally hit the Day We. When I think of the top stars in the company right now, especially when I think of the future, let me say this, the future stars of this company, I think Obafemi, I think Dominic Mysterio, he's not a black brother. I think Trick Williams, he a black brother. I think Javon Evans. I think Carmelo Hayes, hopefully. I think Jada Parker. I think Bianca Belair, damn sure still. I think Naomi. And like those names popping up and being black talent is absolutely amazing. Because if you were to ask me this question in 2006, I'm saying John Cena. I thought Batista was black. I think Batista was the closest looking black figure we had on TV, and then I grew up and found out he wasn't. So it's like being able to have representation. Also, I think it's really important for younger stars. Like, imagine me and you when we were younger being able to see representation of people like us doing wrestling. Because for me, yeah, wrestling was like the semi thing that all boys went through, but you couldn't be too obsessed or you were weird. You were the weird kid. Now we're seeing black people get up there and do it. We're seeing representation. Javon Evans is a YN on stage. So it's like I'm absolutely loving the Black Talent Takeover. I'm loving this Black Talent Takeover 110%. I do think WWE has changed for the better because even when we look down to NXT has some black talent. Jada Parker is probably the biggest talent on the roster. No, she hasn't won the main belt, but she's probably having the best storylines towards it. So I do think black talent in WWE is the best that it's ever been. When you look back at other eras, you can really only name 3-4 black people. Kofi Kingston was the best black wrestler for the 2010s. 2000s, maybe Shelton Benjamin, maybe MVP. Like, you can only name 2-3. I probably just named all of them. Booker T, I probably just named all 3 of them. But now you can name 6. You can name 10. You can name 15. Jaden must be talking about me somewhere. Jordan, I will happily allow you to share your 2 cents.
Okay, so first thing I want to say is that I know that we're talking about WWE, but I just real quick want to go ahead and shine a whole spotlight on the black community with the fact that it's not just WWE. The black talent is taking over everywhere. Let's be honest. We got Swerve, who has now made himself a main eventer in 3 years. In 2023, he was not a main eventer. He faced Hangman in the end of that year, and by 2024, he was world champion. Now he's just a general consensus main eventer. Maya World just blew up. We have Mercedes Moné versus Willow Nightingale is the AEW Women's Championship match at All In London. That is 2 black women. You also have Kevin Knight, who is soaring right now. Let's even be honest. Going back to WWE. So we said Javon Evans. Let's talk about Leon Slater, who's going to be one of the greatest in-ring performers for a while.
Oh, Reese is not feeling Leon Slater.
That's fine.
Hey, Reese, we're talking about black excellence. Fix your face right now.
21
Just
years
accept
old.
it.
And I think
you got a white man bragging about a black man, Reese. Fix your face right now. Let's enjoy it.
Now let's enjoy it. We'll go even further. I think this is where I'm gonna this is a nasty take because a lot of people, even black people, aren't gonna like it. But Jade Cargill, why are we not talking about Jade Cargill? She's talking about Black Talent Takeover. Why are we not talking about Jade Cargill the way we talk about Oba?
Thought he was about to drop the word, John. I got scared.
No. I'm saying that I've heard. No, I'm saying that I know Jade is just naturally kind of,
No, Jade is great. I think. Hey, like I said,
I have to ask, why isn't Jade the general consensus female Oba? I'm talking about like as far as praise goes. Because I have never, tell me why Steph, tell me why I have never thought she was bad. In the ring, like the way she carries herself, her character. But even if you want to say it's whites, it's like I talk to so many people that swear up and down that this girl, you had JD from NY post yesterday that she's the worst wrestler on the roster. Like, what?
Yeah, I do think some of the...
Jade has nothing but good matches when she gets the time and gets the chance. And Jade has a bot. Like, she has so many things that you can't teach. And you know why she gets hate? And I'm saying it because people won't give y'all everything. You know what I mean? It's like Black Talent Takeover. It's like, well, we can't give you Jade. It's like, they got to. Y'all taking over everything, even the women's division, and they don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit Jade might be better than Rhea. Give her 2 years. Give her 2 years. They don't want to admit Jade might be better. They don't want to admit that you put Jade next to Charlotte and you might get money. They don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit it. They want to keep Jade down. No matter what she does. Then you got, and then this is where, before I pass it back to Reese, I think this is what he was kind of getting at. But has WWE changed? We've still got to keep our binoculars up. Don't let our guard down.
Okay.
Because they did just have Baron Corbin come back and take the title from Trick Williams. They did just have Big Cass come back and attack Javon Evans. So be honest, like what I'm saying is we still got to have our guard. We can't let our guard down because I love the Black Talent Takeover, but like it might be we got to hope that isn't WWE trying to ruse us. You know what I mean? Like trying to basically just get out of like a bad aroma of rumors and stuff like that just to bring white talent back to bury them again. You know what I mean? That don't even like we're not going to act like Big Cass is even in the league of a Javon Evans. I don't care if Javon is 22. Like I
Jordan, I actually want to cut you right there because my next question.
That was my last thing. As I was saying,
I got you, Jordan.
We do have to be careful because some weird things are happening really recently. That may be hopefully not shifting a time. Go ahead.
Let me cut you right there because my next direct question. I want all of us to be as serious as we can. Whoa. Reese, bring me back, Reese. I wasn't done just yet, Reese. We got to get serious. And I want to be serious when it comes to black talent in the WWE. Just how far are they actually going to be allowed to go? How far do y'all actually think they're gonna be allowed to go? We've seen them get stopped at certain levels. Do y'all really think that there is going to be a change? Has it changed yet? No. How far do you think they're going to allow an Obafemi? Do you think Obafemi can break the reins? We've seen it before. Booker T was hyped up. He faced Triple H at Mania. What happened? It was shut down. We've seen stuff like this before. Kofi Kingston was hyped up. He had a match against Randy. It took one comment backstage. It shut down. Do y'all think it's real this time? Do y'all think it can go the distance this time? Reese, I want to hear you, and then we can go ahead and change topics. How far do you think this black talent within Dating Week can go?
I'll take care of you with that Twitch topic thing. Look, when it comes to the men's division, it looks like it's pretty in an okay spot right now. I can't predict the future. There's one thing I can predict, though, that if she continues this reign of terror that she has, look, I think it's absolutely time to get Rhea Ripley down the card. Like, do some mid-card work. Do play with some roses outside or something. I don't know. Like, go win an IC belt. Go after that. Go to SmackDown and win a US title. But my goodness, Jordan, you brought up something very, very well. If WWE does not get off this Rhea Ripley train, then it's not just black. It's every woman backstage is gonna be held back. Like this is 10 times worse than a Super Cena was, borderline Hogan level. Like why? Why do I say that? Because Rhea Ripley does not work as much, and she wins more. And even right now, they are scared of letting her just relinquish the title.
Yeah.
She will be out for months. And now Chelsea Green's injured. We need an interim champion now. Because Rhea Ripley won't let go of the title. We ask ourselves, why won't Jade be put in
She should have never lost to Jade.
Like an Oberfemi?
She should have never lost
Rhea
to
Ripley
Mania.
is there. And I'm not saying
Jade
Rhea
should have
Ripley
never
can't
lost.
have a job. I'm not saying, but you got to be, and they did it a little bit this year, but I need to see it more. I need to see Rhea Ripley. They didn't even do it for her this year. I need to see Rhea Ripley just lose to Jade Cargill.
I agree with you.
Before you go, I really want to speak on this topic.
Absolutely, just pin her. And there should be no reason why. If Jade Cargill can't beat Rhea Ripley clean, who will? Like what's it gonna take? Is it gonna take a meteor? What is it? Roman Reigns? She gotta fight Roman Reigns? Like what is she gotta do? Like what is how is she ever gonna lose the championship? How is she ever gonna lose a clean match if Jade Cargill
every big matchup she comes up against? Like
imagine if Roman Reigns on his come up as the big dog never like beat a John Cena, and John Cena beats him both times at SummerSlam and at No Mercy. It's like if Roman Reigns can't beat John, who's gonna beat him? Right? If Brock Lesnar comes back in 2012, in 2014, and doesn't beat John, who's gonna beat him? Like John Cena wins at SummerSlam 2014. Who at that point he like have him beat go to the women's division to beat everybody. Like at this point, Rhea Ripley should just go to the men's division and like do a Roman 13-16 Rhea Ripley reign. Because if Rhea Ripley does not just show some weakness, not just show some naivety, not just show like some type of like this girl has my number. Every superstar has had one. That's revered in the high.
Well, she does have one. She does have one.
But she does have
Io
one.
has her number. She's never beat Io.
Touche.
But it's not played into it.
But to be fair about your point, Io has the same problem, beating people simply because she's Io. So go ahead.
But it's also a different reason, right? John Cena could. I'm bringing it back to Cena because this is like the power structure that I see it as, right? Like a big dog Roman, a John Cena, the powerhouse using the power moves, but like isn't like a big like isn't a Nia Jax-ish or big just pure muscle, right? When I'm looking at Rhea Ripley, I'm seeing okay, Io is your like Daniel Bryan was to John Cena, CM Punk was to John Cena. Right? And AJ was to John Cena. Okay, Io is the technical wrestler who's going to just outmaneuver you, and you have to figure out how to gap your strength between him and the norms of kayfabe, right? But Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, those were the John Cenas. Okay, this person is just that strong. Yeah, and I gotta like pull 1,000% willpower and then some to even come close to beating them. Why can't Jade be that? Like why can't Jade be the why can't Jade be the gap with strength where it's like I got to go the 9 yards to beat you. I got
dare I say the Ola?
There we
go.
Like
you said, the Ova of the women.
That leads to better matches. That will lead to better storylines. That will lead to new storylines, stuff with nuance. That's what, to me, and I know we don't agree on this, but that's what made Oba and Brock so fresh for me. It's been a minute since we just had two colossal giants like that, and especially with somebody of Brock Lesnar's caliber, that we probably will never see again. Just two beings, a young man entering his prime and the beast incarnate leaving his prime and leaving the ring. And it's just those two colliding. I'm not saying Rhea got to be at the tail end of her career, but my goodness, would it do wonders if we can get a a Rhea Ripley, a Jade Cargill, where I just don't go in this match saying, bro, I really hope Jade Cargill wins because Rhea Ripley is being but like why should I shouldn't have to think that as a viewer. I should go into this match thinking I do not know who's going to win. I went into every single Oba Brock match and I was like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what they do. Like I especially after the second one, I was like, I don't know what they do.
I agree. I just want to say one thing, just this, and then let Steph, because Steph's got a rant, but that's why I'm only saying one sentence. I agree. I don't think anybody can tell us we're wrong because obviously everybody has their own opinion. But I'm gonna be honest. I don't think anybody can tell us they're wrong because of everything that's happened since Mania. Nobody can sit here and argue against me, Reese, that Jade should have beat Jade. No. That Rhea should have beat Jade. And we are in the situation and mess that we are in right now in the SmackDown Women's Division. So nobody can tell me that, hey, is Jade currently healthy in wrestling matches, guys? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So if Jade was champion all this time since Mania, would it have probably been the title would probably been in a lot better state, a lot more stable, and a lot better, would it be seen a lot better right now, Reese? Yeah, exactly. So it's like, why on earth, like we said, did Jade have to lose to Rhea Ripley? That was just a full reset of the SmackDown Women's Division. That's all I got to say is that I don't think anybody can argue that against us because of the mess that the SmackDown Women's Division is in right now. No, everybody right now has to collectively bow their heads, even if they're Rhea stans, and say, Jade should have won at Mania. Even if they hate Jade, Jade should have won.
I know you want to go, Steph, and I know you got some stuff to say. But the fact is that Rhea Ripley being pushed the way she is, to me, is much more dangerous than a Cena at the top of his peak, or even a big dog Roman, is because of this, Jordan. She doesn't work as much. So when you are a special attraction to WWE standards, right? Not to me, but to WWE standards, and you aren't wrestling on the Raws week to week like most top stars are now, and you're getting saved for the big occasions, and you go out there and you can't even have a promo segment because you're injured like this, and they're so afraid of taking the belt, of you just vacating it. They're so afraid of that. I agree. She works just as much as Roman, not this year, but like the past, few years, right? Because she's the special attraction.
No, I don't know if that's true. I think she works a little bit more than you think. But go ahead.
Absolutely. She works more than Roman, but the schedules at this point are compared.
She reminds me a little bit of Rollins in the fact that she's having they prevented it, but if they had done it, she would have vacated 2 world title reigns before she was 30 years old.
That's fine.
It is. But I'm saying it's like you said. Go ahead.
Boys, I've been holding my thoughts this entire time.
It is you.
I honestly think this is the one time I've been here that we've all agreed, because Rhea Ripley has ran her course for me. I think Reese said it perfectly at the beginning. She needs to do some IC work. She needs to do some US work. Constant saying in the main event is a big issue. And both of y'all didn't say the name that I wanted somebody to say. Rhea Ripley is running into a Charlotte Flair problem. Charlotte Flair at one point was stuffed into our throat, and everyone, it just was like she's unbeatable. But, and I was happy Reese said this, because I think it's worse. Because Charlotte was, at least it wasn't her character to be this royalty, to be a heel. Rhea's meant to be a face, and we feel this way. That's when it's the issue to me. Rhea Ripley, you shouldn't be a face and have us feel this way. Also, the kryptonites. I agreed with you, Reese. I actually love that you said that. Everybody has some type of a kryptonite. And it's like every type of kryptonite they try to plant for Rhea, it doesn't work. Liv was the mental kryptonite. It doesn't work. When was the last time Liv actually beat her? I don't know. Io's the best friend kryptonite, and we just keep running that same storyline with her every time, but then they don't fight for stuff that matters, and they fight. It don't work. Jade, she beat Jade. I don't think she should have beat Jade, because I think Jade has better and more interesting stuff going. Also, the biggest issue with Rhea Ripley, in my opinion, is she's stuck on the same thing since she got popular. The only storyline that I really know of Rhea Ripley, every single time she swings back to Liv Morgan, every single time she swings to anything, it's about her, Dominic Mysterio. It's the same thing. That is the most interesting thing she's done since she became Rhea Ripley. Mommy, Dom. It's the most interesting thing she's done, and it's been the same thing. It's been nothing new with Rhea Ripley. She just needs a new feel. She needs a new feel. You do not have to be the main girl. Lose. Have a chase to the title against someone that is not a Liv Morgan that we know you're going to just go and beat. The only person she chases for the title is Liv, and it's the same exact storyline every single time. Give us a storyline where you're chasing Jade Cargill after Jade just beat you, where you're chasing someone who's just better than you in ring. I think Rhea is a good wrestler. I think she's solid at promos, but give her a better character to work within these promos. Her coming out saying, "'Cause I'm mommy," it might turn on little goth girls that just had their awakening and they're just learning that they like women. But it's not working for me when I want to watch women's wrestling. I want to watch good women's wrestling. I get it. I get it. Rhea's good in ring. I'm not saying she's not. Rhea has some great matches out there, but
like her only
as far as her championship run, it's just too tied around one thing. Let her get a run with hell. This issue happened to almost all their big stars. It happened with Charlotte. Charlotte dropped out of that space. Charlotte was doing other stuff. It annoyed people when Charlotte came back with a title, but guess what? If Charlotte won a title right now, I would not hate it. Charlotte went and did some stuff with Alexa.
She's earned it.
When Becky was getting annoying, Becky went and did her stuff with the IC belt. Becky did other stuff. Rhea, just go WWE. Take Rhea and do some other stuff, especially with, and I am a fan of the interim belt. I've defended it so many times, but I will say having the first one be to protect somebody who's having a pretty mid-reign already. Also having the first one be to protect somebody who hasn't wrestled in 3 months now, and then she's expected out for another 3. Vacate the belt. At that point, what are we saving? What are we saving? Like Rhea Ripley has ran her course. Yes, I agree. And it happens. It happens in wrestling. Hell, John Cena ran his main event course for a bit and he went to the US belt. He made it relevant and he came back. Like, you can do stuff like that. Drop to another division, swing back, get some new type of character, get a new storyline. Add some anchors to your character. You don't have to change your character like a Chris Jericho, like a Seth Rollins to keep relevant, but add some flavor to your character. Add that to your character every once in a while. Rhea Ripley hasn't added flavor since what? Since Judgment Day? If I'm really being honest, since she joined the Judgment Day? Because if I'm really being honest, it's the same character. Well, no, when she got betrayed by Judgment Day, it did add some flavor to it. It added some seasoning, but it's been no seasoning. It feels like Jordan was in my kitchen cooking, and some of y'all at home get what I'm saying when I say that. Like, yeah, Jordan, I'm joking. I know you season your food, but like that's what I feel like is happening with Rhea Ripley right now in the women's division. It's just unseasoned, and it hasn't been seasoned for so long. For so long.
You know all the complaints that we gave a big dog Roman need to go to Rhea Ripley. Like all the lack and all the crap that we gave big dog Roman.
It's something about that RR. Roman Reigns, Rhea Ripley. It's something about them double R's.
Look, but this
Tribal
is
Queen.
This is the issue, is that I firmly believe that big dog Roman is not only better in ring than Rhea Ripley is,
a lot.
But like on top of that, yeah, I think obviously on top of that, Rhea Ripley again isn't showing up more, and when she comes back, it's the same story. You talked about it. I'm gonna take back the title I never lost. Yeah, that's the same thing. Every single go.
If you stop getting hurt when you shouldn't win, you wouldn't lose. You wouldn't have to not lose titles.
She gets hurt. Liv Morgan has the title. I'm gonna take back the title I never lost. Yeah, and then same thing that's gonna happen here. She's gonna come back. Chelsea Green or somebody else is gonna have it. I'm gonna take back the title I never lost. Yeah, it's ridiculous, and I think it's insane how we keep replaying this. At least with the Reigns, you had a nuanced stories, and it felt fresh. And sure, he wasn't the best promo. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, Steph. If you said who's a better promo, Big Dog Reigns or Ripley, I don't know. It's like
Rhea's not that bad. Yeah. Like, come on, man.
It's the same thing. It's the same.
Rhea's really not that bad promo. But
I want to highlight. I'm going to put back on my host hat real quick, Reese. I'm sorry to cut your words, but I want to highlight what this commenter said. The comments, you guys are important to us. And if she does come back as a face and wins the belt, let's go for some fresh non-Jade rivalries. If we are going to go the route of her winning the belt, I do agree. Let's go for some fresh rivalries with Rhea because she's been stale, probably because she's been going against the same people within the same storylines. So I do think that's also a part of the issue. I do think don't have her win the belt. I do think we're all in agreement with that. I think you might even be in agreement with that. But if you are going to do her, please give her something new. Boys, I just wanted to make sure we were responding to comments. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with what is it? I don't know. I think that might have been Mo or whatever. I don't know. I think it said Bros Inc. or some commenter.
Don't matter who
Mr.
it
Commenter.
Is.
Yeah, it's like I was trying to say the name that I read, but it went away too fast. But Mr. Commenter. Yeah, Mr. Commenter. I agree. Blake Monroe specifically would be one that I think would really elevate because she's so good on the mic. It's one that would really, really like pull something out of like it would force Rhea. Like it would basically like it'd be like deliver or look stupid type stuff. You know what I mean? Where it would be like if I'm being honest with you, maybe you two aren't the biggest fan, but like I think as Reese knows, I am a fan of Rhea Ripley. I'm a big fan of Rhea Ripley. I do like Rhea. You can't deny her matches, but the big thing is
I have denied plenty of her matches.
You cannot. I could name 5 matches right now that you cannot deny.
Hey, boys, stay on your.
I don't want to do that, but like, you can't deny her match with Charlotte. You can't deny her matches with Io. You can't deny her virtual threat. You can't deny her match with her matches with Asuka. You can't deny those.
Those are not her only matches. But go ahead.
They're not. But most of the time she has a good opponent, she delivers. But the thing is,
she's fine.
Then there's not that many times she's given a bad opponent. So before you say, "Oh, well, show me her a good match with a bad opponent."
Jordan, stay on your plane. Stop arguing with a neighbor.
Anyway, stay there. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is this: you know what we're going towards, guys. With her coming back, like Reese said, with I didn't lose the title. I didn't, I get back the title I never lost. Well, that's what this is going towards, guys. She is going to be stripped because she's been out for a while. And now that we get to build into another WrestleMania moment for Rhea. Whoever has that title around WrestleMania,
but have her lose.
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you, Steph, is she won't. And I'm saying that as like a negative, where it's like that's what they're doing. Now think about it. That's almost like it's like this sucks because it's like because they take the title off Jade and they give it to Rhea, and so Karma and Fate bites them and makes it to where they go through all of this. Now they are going to get a situation where Rhea gets to return, Steph. And when someone else is champion, and then they get to build this big giant, Rhea wins the title back she never lost for WrestleMania 43 versus whoever it may be. And that's why I'm saying it is, as much as I'm a Rhea fan, she doesn't need that. But whoever has that title going into Mania 43, their opponent's probably going to be Rhea Ripley, and they're not going to have the momentum of, oh, I'm returning. Like, people, you got to think, the fans are simple. Like you guys just said, they love her. They're like, oh my God, she gets back the title she never lost. You know what I mean? And like, I agree. It's going to be such a big moment for Saudi Rhea Ripley. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense, but it's going to be. They're going to try to build it for Rhea because she's hurt now. So all of WrestleMania during the SmackDown Women's division next year is going to be built around Rhea Ripley. I promise you.
Thank you, Jordan. I want to throw some light on this final comment that I am reading. Rhea is definitely a top 5 woman in WWE. She just gets booked the same way, which makes her stale. Reese, I am really, really curious on your opinion on this.
Not when healthy.
It doesn't matter what your opinion is on this. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Franchise Justified Without Just with your host with the most, Ayo Steph, and we will see you guys